Heyo everyone, Hexi here. Today, I just want to tell you about a fantastic arcade game that got done dirty by the localization team. That being Rohga Armor Force. Rohga and the Japanese version, Wolfbang, were released in arcades back in 1991 by Data East. The game was later ported to PlayStation and Sega Saturn in 96 and 97. The game allows you to build a custom mecha battle armor, and you can select from having missiles, or a big energy field, or bullet rain satellites, and bouncing grenades for your special weapons. And your melee weapons are fairly similar and barely make a difference, but having a beam saber feels very Gundam-like. The hover legs let you jump the highest, and the wheels jump the lowest, though they do get a speed boost. The other legs fall somewhere in between and aren't super important. Your primary gun can be switched at any time if you find a weapon pickup, and they give you a basic spread shot, a spiral cluster shot, a grenade gun that flies straight forward and does splash damage on impact, and a laser gun that fires a focused, constant damaging beam. You can also shoot the power-ups if you have one you like already, and they'll explode and do high damage to all the enemies near the item when it explodes. You can also pick up two little guys who will ride on your mech and offer cover fire. And inevitably, when your mech gets destroyed, you can become one of these mechless little pilots. And if you manage to collect 3 items in this form, your mech will respawn. Now that you know about how the game works, it's time to talk about how it was localized. But first I'll have to talk about what we lost from Wolfbang. So, in Wolfbang, you had a branching storyline with 4 separate endings, and an option to select between easy and hard missions. The game had 12 levels in total, but 2 of those were mandatory, and the rest are split up, making the game a reasonable half-hour playthrough. And the different endings and story cutscenes give the player incentive to put more quarters in and play through the game again. Meanwhile, in Rohga, the localization team decided that Americans don't care about story, so they scrapped all the in-between level cutscenes and simply stacked the 12 levels end to end, forcing the player to play from beginning to end with no consideration for the alternating difficulty of the original levels. And overall, it makes the game feel frustrating at parts when you're forced into a hard level without knowing that that's what's happening. Also, the game can now drag on for hours with no payoff in sight due to how many levels there are. Basically, the team had inadvertently created a monster quarter muncher without intending to, but I'm sure that some CEO loved this game's business model. Thankfully, all the menus are in English in Wolfbang, so I'd recommend playing that version instead of Rohga if you value your time. If you just want a marathon game though, Rohga might be the version for you. This game reminded me a lot of a more modern game called Hardcore Mecha, which is a high-speed 2D mech-based run-and-gun / beat-em-up, depending on which mech you're piloting. So, if you're looking for a similar, yet more modern twist, that might be a good game for you to look into. Anyways, that's all I have to say this week. Hope you had fun, ciao for now, and Hexi out.
Thanks go out to my Patreon supporters. Your donations mean the world to me, and I thank you for supporting my future endeavors.